Hi there, my name is Victoria, and I am going to be giving a response to Dr. Jeff Hamilton's lecture on literature of Indigenous peoples, and this is a Canadian Indigenous Studies course. The first thing that came to mind was watching John Wayne, because I remember my grandmother's house or it just being on there. And then the Dear John was interesting to hear because I remember the TV show Dear John. I was still a kid back then. It was just a realization with all of these memories of so subtle and just in there, but I'm not really thinking about it. And it's such a example of a way that it was what has been programmed into my mind. And I mean, like, we're seeing it in current times. 1830, you mentioned Pontiac, and yeah, I thought about the car immediately. I did not think about the person. I didn't know that the person existed. How are we continuing to do this? And what is being rewritten right now already when it comes to genocides and wars that we're seeing across the world? Like, with what happened in the past and what's happening currently, that genocides are happening, and genocides are a prelude to colonization. And at 25 minutes, you do bring up the harmful patriarchy, which is interesting to think about. Like, I also grew up watching that John Wayne type, and at 25 minutes, you bring up a point about the harmful patriarchy and the toxic masculinity with John Wayne. And that's that's interesting to me because I grew up watching these films. At 28 minutes, you do mention about how these movies and films and everything do penetrate the mind of the people, and they are colonizing our minds. And so now, looking to Tiffany Midge's typical schedule for a Native American, I mean, this is clearly satirical writing, and it's kind of slotting in every single minute that a Native person is going to be filling in one of those stereotypes. And it does start and end with the mysticism of the Indigenous person. 5 a.m., rise mystically. And it just carries through of be sacred at 9 a.m.-ish. And also overthrow the patriarchy. I love that. Hand feed bears, which of course it is just colonization repeating itself. Yeah, so the writing was really interesting, and to think about all of these things and think back to my grandmother, who would watch these John Wayne movies as well, and what she grew up with. She was adopted, and when I would try to talk to her, it was like her life never existed before my grandfather. And to think about that is